Hello Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome to the first historic Brawl gameplay video in the new Through the Omen Path / Spider-Man set. And I've seen a few complaints online around how none of the legendary creatures in Through the Omen Paths really reach out and grab you for Brawl. And I kind of agree, a lot of them are good, but none of them really, I really want to play with that one. So I had a bit of a, not a struggle, but it wasn't an easy choice. Usually with sets I'm like, I really want to play with that card. But for the first one, I have gone with Merata Neuron Hacker, because it's a bit unique. A 1-mana 0/2, which is, not great stats, but it does mean you can cast your commander on turn 1 all the time. It says, whenever you draw your first or second card each turn, you put an ingenuity counter on Merata, and then you can tap her. You may cast an artifact spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to the number of ingenuity counters on Merata without panic mana cost. So basically every turn, yours and your opponent's, you can get up to 2 ingenuity counters for your first and second card draw. So we want to draw cards and at instant speed as well. And then obviously the name of the game is artifacts. Now it does count as casting the artifact, it's not just putting it into play. So timing restrictions still apply. You can't just put an artifact creature into play on your opponent's turn unless it has flash, but it does mean you still get the cast trigger, which is relevant on, I think, mainly just Cityscape level at one of our big finishers. So just be aware of that. And because it is cast trigger, you can't put artifact lands into play. Like we do have Seat of a Synod, because obviously we have a lot of artifact synergies, but you can't put it into play. So it's not really pseudo ramp. So that's the name of the game. Obviously, the deck is card draw and artifacts. And we do have ramp as well, because one of the problems I found when testing this deck is, you go, let's go the biggest artifact we can find. And actually, the early turns, even when you've got like 2, 3, or maybe 4 counters on Merata, you can't really cast anything. So rejigged it, put in a lot of ramp, because even if you can't cast a spell for free with Merata, if you can get ramp out with her, things like kind of Arcane Signet, Onslaught to Paradise, Sapphire Medallion, and the Iron Crag, then you're more likely to be able to cast expensive artifacts even without Merata. So that's the deck. We do have ways to reduce the cost of artifacts as well, with things like Jorah's Familiar, which uses all historic spells. So that's artifacts, legendaries, and sagas. Cloud Key, if you name artifact, reduces the cost of that as well. Foundry Inspector as well. So, and obviously we've got some affinity things like Thoughtcast. Kappa Cannoneer doesn't have affinity, but it does improvise, mean you can tap your artifacts. And then, say, big hitters, Jamil, Immortal Sun, Wormcoil Engine, the Endstone, not managed to play with yet, and actually not managed to draw on it yet. Cityscape Leveler, which is a great removal. The Magic Mirror, which is reduced by the amount of instant sorcery cards in the graveyard. We don't have a huge amount of them, but obviously it is an artifact, so if we get up to 9 counters of Merata, it's not out of the realm of possibility, we can play it for free. And then Portal to Phyrexia. We also have Simulacrum Synthesizer, because we're going to be casting a lot of reasonably expensive artifacts, so we can get a lot of constructs as well. And also we have a mini Thopter theme with things like Psy, Master Thopterist. Whenever we cast an artifact spell, we create a 1/1 Thopter artifact. We do have Ornithopter Paradise and Liberator Urza's Battle Thopter, which is a Thopter, and then Emporium Thopterist from Alchemy, which at the beginning of upkeep we conjure an Ornithopter into a hand, 0 mana, 0/2 flying, but Thopters we control get +2/+0, so we can really go wide as well. And Thopter Fabricator, we can create Thopters when we draw a second card each turn, and since one of the main things we want to do is draw cards, that's really going to trigger as well. And we also have Emery, which means it has affinity of artifacts, so often we're paying 1 for this. And then we can tap it to cast an artifact card in our graveyard. And while Merata only lets you cast artifacts for free from your hand, obviously we're going to have quite a bit of mana from all the card draw as well. So that's the deck. It's really powerful. We are very creature light. We only have, let's say, 23 creatures, but a lot of those are artifact creatures and things to trigger with artifacts, to help with artifact synergy. So it can get overrun, but what is important is if you get value early on with Merata, which is quite easy to do, if your opponent removes Merata, it's not the end of the world. Because she's only 1 mana, you can recast her quite easily. But if you've got down, a couple of mana rocks, or used her to get down some cheap artifacts, which lets you cast other spells. Once you get up to 4 mana, if you can warp some Spirited Simulacrum, which basically I'm playing in all Brawl decks instead of Summon Simulacrum, you're just going to be laughing, really. So a really, really fun deck and quite a lot of synergy. And not as controlling as Mono Blue usually is. We only have 1 counter spell, and that's Mana Drain. Archmage's Charm's a counter spell as well. We did have, and obviously Wash Away, we did have 3 Steps Ahead and Cryptic Command and well, a reprinted 5 mana counter spell from through their own path as well, but I took those out because they're not artifact spells. We want as many artifacts as we can, and we do have 39 of them, so quite a lot. That's the deck. Hope you all enjoy it. If you do, please remember to like and subscribe. I'd like to give a shout out to my patrons, Arcadius, Michal, Thomas, and Adrian. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for your support, and I'll see you all in my gameplay. Up against Tiamat, another 5-colour dragon deck. We'll get down Uthros. Take a look at their hand. Well, Wash Away is interesting. Get down Ornithopter of Paradise. I have a Lotus Cobra. Well, let's get down a 1 ring. And then we can flash in Mithril Crow or Liberator. Are they going for Map the Frontier? Oh no, enters Restoration. And Enduring Vitality. Let's put in Liberator. Oh, let's Tezzeret's Gambit. Oh, I suppose, yeah, we just... Let's station with Liberator. And next turn we can get Tezzeret's Gambit back with Mystic Sanctuary. Well, put it back on top of our library. I have a Relic of Legends. And then I Map the Frontier. 3, 4, 5, 6. We're a few turns away from being able to get Portal down. Well, actually not a huge amount. In fact, yeah, we can do it now. Well, let's Cloud Key on Artifact. Let's do this. Let's get down to the Thopterist. Station with you. Station with you. And then... Oh, Portal to Phyrexia. They can still cast Tiamat. Ooh, but they don't. Oh no, they still can cast Tiamat. Wow. Mystic Sanctuary. We'll get Tezzlet's Gambit back. Let's draw. Let's station with you and with you, and then we have 6. What can we get? Let's get a Mox Opal. And let's Tezzlet's Gambit. And I suppose we can opt on their turn. And we can flash in Mithril Coat on Liberator. If they attack with Tiamat, that is. That is probably going to kill us. What do they go for? Tezzeret? Go for Liberator. Go for Liberator. What are you picking? They can't attack with Tiamat. Maybe they're worried that they messed up by tapping Tiamat. And that's annoyed them. Although, you know, I'm not sure what else they could have done beyond counting their mana properly. But yeah, it's a bit, if they have noped out because of that, that's a bit unfortunate. We were going to have a juicy turn. I mean, just take a Tezzeret. Fortunately, there's nothing in either of our graveyards for Portal to get back. Yeah, well done. Yeah, we'll keep that. We are down to 11. Right. Blue. Let's tick down. Let's get a Mox, because that's another free artifact. You. 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 We still have... This would give everything hexproof. Can we warp this? Thing is, I think we are just dead. Which is a shame, because we didn't find our Cyclonic Rift. You can go ahead. Let's play a dragon and deal a lot of damage to our face. But yeah, they have actually just rage quit. But this has shown what the deck can do. It's a shame because they have actually won as well. They don't even need to attack. Yeah, which is such a shame. But let's see what they're going to do. Literally cast a dragon and we're dead. That's it. Or two things. Yeah. I hate playing against children. There goes the rope. But they've won! This is the stupid thing. They have actually won. Yet they are so pathetic. Because something didn't go. I don't know what it was. The only thing I can think of is they tapped Tiamat for mana when they didn't realise it. But they had still won. Absolutely ridiculous. Ooh, up against 5 colour. 5 colour deck. If we keep this, we can turn 1 Merata, turn 2 Brainstorm. Which will get us enough counters to put Reality Chip into play with Merata. you and you then. And next turn we can Ristic Study and get down a Foundry Inspector. Put in Foundry Inspector and Reality Chip. Now, do you pay the one? Yes, we will draw. To our next turn. Well, we can Thought Cast and then hold up Sink into Stupor. Oh, it still has Wall 2. Crap. That's... If they play out Rammus, we can just bounce it to their hand. That's still not bad. We'll play down Seat of a Synod. Get down. We will take out Urith. And let's reconfigure onto Merata. And then we can peek on their turn, hit him for 3. Or maybe we don't peek, because I imagine they're going to take out Merata with their Cami. Or do they go for Cityscape Leveler? Yeah, that does make more sense. Dragons, who'd have thought? Well, Synthesizer. Bauble. What does that do? That's just indestructible, isn't it? We will pitch an island. What do they bounce? Probably the 8/8. Or maybe the Solemn, the synthesizer. I really don't mind if they bounce, yeah, Merata. We'll just discard an island. What else do they have? There is Ramos. Oh, I think we Simulacrum. Let's give all our stuff hexproof. And see what they have. I'm tempted to cast out Mithril Coat just to create another construct. We wouldn't draw many cards with Seagate at all, unfortunately. They don't have a huge amount of multicolored spells in their hand, just one that we know of, and that is 3. Do they hit in? They do. We're down to 11. Right, I am going to do this. We're trying to get through our library. And yeah, Phyrexian Metamorph, probably copy the synthesizer. Joris Familiar can also, we could put Mithril Coat on the Familiar to block Ramos. That actually wouldn't be terrible. But we then, yeah, probably copy another synthesizer with the Metamorph. Although, yeah, doing the Mithril Coat would be the rest of our mana. But yeah, we got there. Having a lot of big boys helped. Ooh, our opponent goes first. We have a very slow hand. I think we've got to mulligan this. This is better, but not by a huge amount. Seems we don't have much in the way of card draw. They are a ramping. Oh, that is actually some ramp. Let's Tezzeret. Let us get a Mishra's Bauble. because we get a draw card, and therefore put a counter on Merata. Can even untap Merata. There is the Necro Bloom. Yeah, they have plants. Well, we can put in Physic. And we can cast Draw as Familiar. And yeah, I think let's search up. Let's get a Mox Opal. And next turn we can hold up Mystic Confluence. Oh good. Even more. And our opponent scoops. Unbeknownst to them, we don't have much in our hand at all, but we thought cast, so we play a land, we can thought cast and then still hold up Mystic Confluence. Hopefully some of the lands we draw we can put into some of the stuff we draw, we can put in play Merata, but we can also tap Physic to put a counter on Physic and Draw as Familiar and maybe untap it as well. So yeah, we were doing pretty well. We weren't far away from being able to cast Seagate Restoration. So not bad, not bad. Oh, we do go first. We are the starting player, so we can't do Gemstone Caverns shenanigans. Well, let's cast our Chromatic Sphere. And then we'll get down an Ornithopter. They have an Iron Crag. Let's put into play Swiftfoot Boots. Attach them to our commander. And let's get down an Octopus. That doesn't do anything to us. So next turn we crack the sphere to draw. Well, let's put in the medallion. Let's ditch the medallion then. We'll draw a couple. Player Otawara. No, no. And we will swing in with Octopus. There is Geralf. Geralf's an interesting commander because he's mono blue zombies. That's a pretty good combo. Well, I think we have to go a draw in. Ooh. Let's ditch the level up because we can get it back from the graveyard. And we will counter their Shrieking Drake. They will get another zombie, but because I think it's a cast trigger, isn't it? Yeah. Counter you. They might have a counter spell. They don't. They still create more zombies. Right, what do we draw? Well, let us cast the reality chip. It might get countered. Let's reconfigure on to Merata. Yeah, that's a bummer. Well, let's discard the Gadgeteer and we'll put into play the Immortal Sun and then the reality chip. And I think we hold back. But what does our opponent have? Just a glimpse of freedom. Yeah, they are going wide. Regreeder have finding our Cyclonic Rift. I don't really want Cold Steel Heart. They have an instant. Well, let us ponder. Well, there's an Emery. Let's Padeem. And then we can Tezzeret's Gambit. Full price. But no attacks for now. Four, five, six, seven, eight. We could cast Cityscape Leveler from our graveyard next turn. Merata owns only spells from our hand. Well, that's a bummer. Okay, we can't cast Cityscape Level Up from our opponent's Scoops. Okay, weird.